from this Fannie Farmer cookbook. And as a bonus, while we're waiting for the biscuits to bake in the oven, we're going to be making some homemade strawberry jam from the, excuse me, from this 1928 cookbook. Um, I have homegrown strawberries over there, my first batch of strawberry jam from these strawberries. So I'm very excited. And I thought it would go really well with these rolls. Um, so I've never made biscuit rolls quite this way. So I'm really excited to try this with y'all. Um, so first what we're gonna do, excuse my voice, I'm still getting over a cold, so I've got a cough drop here and getting through this. So anyways, we're gonna be making these fruit rolls or pinwheel biscuits as it says here. And over here, I've got 2 cups of flour. The recipes are written down in the description for you. So we're going to add all the dry ingredients and then the butter. So we've got 2 cups of flour. We're going to add in 4 teaspoons of baking powder. Then we've got 2 tablespoons of sugar here. Welcome, everyone. We are making fruit biscuits today. Good morning. How are you? So nice to see you from Australia. Awesome. Um, and so we're going to be mixing all of that together, the flour, salt, sugar, and baking powder. And then we've got just a tiny bit of butter. This is 2 tablespoons of butter that I've cut up. So we're going to add in that. And with clean hands, I'm going to be mixing this together. I really like to do this by hand because I can really feel how it's working in there. Let me know if you like to make biscuits or scones this way. Or pastry for sure. I always prefer this way, even though you definitely have to wash your hands after this. Um, it is well worth it to me. So let me know your opinion on this. But we're making these 1896 pinwheel biscuits. They're going to have some fruit in them, which I'm going to show you later. And then we're making homemade strawberry jam from my own berries from the garden. This is the first time I've been able to do that because I've grown enough strawberries finally. So I have a whole pound to use. I'm very excited. So that is mixed up. I'm just going to rinse off my hands. And then we're going to mix in the milk next. So I'm going to put away my whisk and get my rubber spatula here. Get this out of the way, and I will return in just a moment. And rinse off my hands here. All right. Oh, I wanted to show you real quick the strawberries we're going to use for the jam. They're so cute. They're all different sizes. I have 4 patches of strawberries, so I'm so excited to finally make the jam out of these. So we're going to work in 2/3 cup of whole milk here into our biscuit mixture. I like to just use a rubber spatula here to mix this in. And we may need a little bit more milk depending on how this turns out, but I think it'll be fine. And I've got my rubber mat here for rolling this out. Before we do this, I wanted to show you the fruits that we have. These are actually raisins that I chopped up just a little bit with a chef knife. Um, and then we have some apricots. They're called for citron. I didn't have any of that, and I don't really prefer those store-bought kind of candied fruits very much. So I am actually increased this from 2 tablespoons to 1/3 of a cup because I like that. And then we have some melted butter. and then some cinnamon sugar. You can um, use whatever ratio you prefer with the cinnamon sugar. So we have our biscuit dough here, and I think I'm just going to add a tiny bit more milk. You pardon me. I think it's just a tiny bit dry. Sometimes you need to adjust this a little bit. So let's add a tiny bit more milk to make a nice soft dough. Let me know in the chat or the comments if you're watching this on the replay if you like to make biscuits or scones. I thought this was kind of a nice twist on biscuits, something nice you can make for kind of a special breakfast, perhaps. So I'm going to kind of knead this a little bit to get this dough together. And I'm really loving this 1896 cookbook. Oh, hello. My name is Trista. I am the vintage cookbook nerd, and we are making fruit biscuits from 1896. Welcome. So we have the biscuit dough here, and I'm just going to fold in these little bits here. And we don't want to overwork this too much, but let me sprinkle a little bit more flour here. We want to roll this out kind of like a jelly roll cake because we're going to roll these up like cinnamon rolls eventually. Thank you. You're very kind. I appreciate it. So we're going to roll this as well as we can to kind of try to make a rectangle. It may not be perfect, but that's totally fine. I'm just going to kind of guide it along here so I can get the best shape I can. And there we are. Then we're going to be brushing our melted butter and adding all these lovely goodies. So let me know if you love cinnamon rolls, if you love biscuits, scones, if you like to make bread. I would love to know which ones you enjoy making. Okay. So this is not perfect by any means, but we have rolled it out. And as you can see here, it's a nice shape. And I'm going to brush some melted butter. Oh, I'm so glad you love bread. Yeah, it's so delicious, isn't it? Let me know your favorite kinds. I make kind of a oat and wheat sourdough bagels every week. I really enjoy making those, but I love all kinds of breads. I especially love ones with seeds and nuts and things in them. So you can put as much butter on here as you want, as long as you're kind of covering it all. Okay, so we have that there. Then I'm going to sprinkle the cinnamon sugar. It doesn't give you exact amounts. It did say a third of a teaspoon of cinnamon, which I don't know if there's even a spoon for that, so I just put half a teaspoon. I always err on the side of adding a little extra. That's what I enjoy. So feel free to add whatever you'd like. With these old recipes, sometimes they're not very specific, but that's the fun of them. You can add your own twist to it. So I am adding plenty of this because why not? And I add a lot of flavor. We might as well just add the whole thing. Okay, so we have our chopped raisins here. There's a third of a cup. And again, in the description below, the recipes are written out for you, just like I'm making them here. And then we have our apricots. Oh, baguettes are also delicious. Oh, so good. I think some of the best ones I ever had Well, we had some in Paris that were really good. Need to try to replicate that at home. Okay, so isn't this pretty? So we're gonna roll this up. It says just like a jelly roll or as you would a cinnamon roll. And if the fruit falls out, just tuck it back in. I'm gonna kind of tuck in this part here. So we're making a nice, yeah, it wants to fall out. That's okay. And what I have here is oh, croissants are amazing. Yes. Again, in Paris, we had very good ones. And I've made them at home. I've made croissants from sourdough, and they're so good. Um, I have a pie plate here that I put just a pan spray on, or you can grease it with butter. And this is where we're going to put the biscuits. Um, so I'm going to get this bench scraper here, and I'm just going to eyeball it as best I can to make some rolls, and we're going to cut those so they look so pretty, right? What do I like the most? Well, I would say for most purposes, I absolutely love bagels. Hey, Terry, how are you? We're making fruit biscuits. They're so yummy. Well, at least I assume. I put all the butter and cinnamon on there, so and sugar. Thank you for joining in. I appreciate you. So we are cutting these with a bench scraper about 3/4 inch to an inch, so they look really cute like that. And we're gonna get as many as we can. I think we'll probably fill this pie pan. You see how it's filling in here? Yes, I think these are gonna be great. It's from a 1896 recipe that I sort of added my own spin here. We have raisins and apricots in these. Um, and if you don't like those particular fruits, you can add whichever ones you want. There's no problem there. I'd say customize to what you want. Just like they always say, the car insurance. Okay, so here we are. We're going to bake these for about 15 minutes in 400-degree oven. And I have some extra butter here, so you know what? I'm going to, doesn't really say to do this, but I don't want to waste this butter, so we're gonna kind of splash it on here on the tops because that cannot hurt. Okay, so we're gonna get that in there, and then we're gonna start to make our homemade strawberry jam over here at the stove. So I'm gonna be moving you guys in just a second. So let's get these in the oven for 15 minutes. And you have to pardon me, I have to wash my hands super quick um, so that we can get to making this jam. Okay, but I'm gonna move the camera in just a second. Oh, thank you. Yeah, I think those biscuits are gonna be really yummy. Um, so here we are at the stove. Pardon the moving. Let's get this set up here. Okay. All right, here we are at the stove. So I have my jars in boiling water and the rings and all of that in here. So those are nice and sterilized. In this other pan here, I have a potato masher. I have my pound of homegrown strawberries here. We're gonna add that to this pot here. And we're gonna start cooking. This is 11 ounces of sugar. And what this recipe says to do out of this book, it's very, very simple. It's basically just strawberries and sugar. That's all we're using. I don't really like to use pectin or anything, in my opinion. I don't really like it. Don't feel it's necessary most of the time. So basically, you want to mash the fruit as it heats, and then bring the fruit to a boil and stir and crush um, the berries. And then you're going to add in the sugar and cook for a few minutes until it gets thick. And then we're going to jar it up in these jars. So that's all there is to it. I would love to know your favorite kinds of jams. What kind of jam do you like? Um, I also like to make blackberry because a lot of blackberries grow here. Um, my blueberry bushes are not big enough to have enough berries for jam quite yet, but sometimes I have enough huckleberries. Those take a long time to pick, but I do have those. So I wanted to show you that we are mashing the berries as they cook. And I did not chop up the berries. I just removed the tops, and that's all. So very, very simple here. Very easy strawberry jam, and it's so fun to have your own fruit that you pick. Oh, homemade jams are the best. Oh, cherry, ooh, and plum. Um, yeah, those are so, so yummy. I still have cherries in the freezer. Um, oh, mango and strawberry. Those sound amazing too. Yeah, I still have cherries in the freezer from last year that I still need to make more jam. I made a little bit of kind of preserves, but I need to finish those up. I still have a couple bags. Um, and plum, that sounds amazing. So, do you all grow your own cherries and plums, or do you get them from the market? Mango and strawberry sounds amazing too. So you can see that these are letting off a little more liquid here as we're mashing and cooking them. And I have this on a pretty high heat um, so that I'm just getting this glove out so we'll be able to get the biscuits out in a moment. Um, so that it cooks fairly quickly because we want to be boiling this. It is coming along quite nicely. Ooh, that's looking great. And I bet those biscuits are looking good. Oh, yeah, they're looking great. And I would say the biscuit, um, oh, you have a young cherry tree, but so far, oh, two cherries. Oh, but congratulations on having two cherries because that is the beginning. That is awesome. I know it takes a long time to grow fruit trees. My parents have, that's where I got the cherries. They have a whole fruit orchard. Um, and I have apple trees, but I don't have any of those other things. Okay, I wanted to show you that this is boiling. Ooh, it's very steamy. You're so welcome. I think you're doing a great job. I love to see your garden. Um, so I'm gonna turn that down just a little bit, and then I'm gonna let this boil for just a second, and then I'm gonna, I think it's about time to add this sugar in, and then I'm gonna be switching to a wooden spoon here. Whew, this gets hot. That's why I'm happier to make jam in the spring than in the summer. Sometimes I freeze all my fruit and then I do that later because this is hot. It's difficult work, makes it so hot in the kitchen. Um, how much to make jam? Well, you need a pound of fruit and then you need about 3/4 of a pound of sugar. And that is, oh, how much time? Um, it can vary. It takes probably about 20 to 30 minutes, sometimes 45 minutes, depending on how long it takes to set and how long you need to cook it. So that, yeah, it depends. Um, yeah. So it takes time to make, but it is so well worth it because the flavor is amazing. I always remember I have huckleberry bushes. They're just tiny little blueberries almost, and takes a long, long time to pick those because they're so tiny. But if you're able to pick enough for jam, yes, thank you so much. Welcome. I'm so glad you think it looks delicious. Thank you for the greetings. And yeah, you can see it's a lot more liquidy now. It's looking a little more jam-like. And I'm going to turn up the heat just a little bit to get that boiling. We have about 7 more minutes on our biscuits. So those are coming along. Um, yes. Let me know, does anybody like to go fruit picking if you don't grow your own fruit? Around here we have a lot of berry farms, so they allow you to pick the fruit there, which is really fun. I could probably pick berries for hours on end because I find it really fun. So I find that exciting to pick berries. Okay, so you can see how the jam is coming along. It's getting a little bit foamy on the top, but it is cooking quite nicely. And I think it's going to be really, really delicious. Welcome. Oh, you have a tomato garden. That is fantastic. Wow. How many tomatoes do you grow? That is something that my mom is very good at. She is good at growing tomatoes. I think one year she grew about 500 pounds of tomatoes. It's amazing. She's an excellent gardener. For me, I just like flowers and fruit and some herbs. I like to grow herbs as well. Oh, 30 tomato plants. That's fantastic. Do you can the tomatoes or make sauces or just use them fresh? Um, it's so nice to have all those tomatoes. I just love all kinds of recipes with tomatoes in them. Not very big tomatoes. Okay, just smaller ones. I see. Excellent. Well, this jam is looking really nice. I'm going to do a little trick here with the jam to make sure that I don't overcook it. I like to put a little plate in the freezer and then have some spoons and kind of test it to see if it sets. So I'm going to, oh, your family tradition to go to a berry farm each year. Buy buckets. Oh, that is fantastic. What a great idea that you pick them. You kind of all go out together and pick the berries and then freeze them and use them. Oh, that's fantastic. I'm going to borrow a page from your book and do that. That sounds like a great way to go. It's just nice and fresh and delicious, right? Thank you for sharing that. It is so cool. Yeah, I really need to freeze more so that I can make jam when it's not so hot. Yay! I'm so glad I motivated you to make jam. Yeah. I think all last year I didn't really make much jam, but this year I want to make more. Nice also as a little gift to give to people for holidays and stuff. So that's always nice. Okay, I'm going to get my little plate for the freezer. I'll be right back. All right, so I got a little plate and some spoons. I'm going to put this in the freezer for a moment. Just want to keep that cool and then we can test and see if our jam is setting. It is really looking more jam-like now. And also they say that it should come down in sheets, and it's just sort of dripping right now. So it's not thick enough quite yet. That's another little test that you can do. Um, yeah, vintage cooking recipes. Yes. So I'm using the jam recipe is from 1928 and the biscuits are from 1896. And down in the description, you will see the recipes there for you if you want to try them. And we just have a couple minutes. Oh, yeah, our biscuits are looking fantastic. Oh my gosh. I think I might want to put icing on these though, because they look yummy, but we might need to try them plain as well. Okay, so I think this is getting thicker, as you can see. Um, oh, yay! Thank you, thank you. Yes, I will get to 1 million. Thank you for supporting me. I appreciate that very much. That's very sweet of you. Yes, that is a goal of mine. It will happen for sure. Yes. Okay. So this is starting, yeah, starting to get thicker. And we have 2 minutes on our biscuits. I'm actually going to test a little bit of this jam so I can show you. This is my plate from the freezer. And yeah, you can see it's still pretty runny. It's not setting too much quite yet. It's getting closer, but we'll keep trying with that. I think it needs to cook just a little bit more. But as always, I don't want to overcook it. Oh, a cake recipe. I do have some of those on my channel. If you check, I have some playlists. I'm the Vintage Cookbook Nerd. That's my channel name. So if you check the playlist, Vintage Desserts, there's a lot of cakes there. But I will be doing more cakes for sure. So I'll be sharing some of those very soon. And as you can see, this is a really beautiful color now. That's looking really good. And actually, I think it's about time to get our biscuits out. I'm gonna get these out. Oh my gosh. Ooh. Thank you, everyone, for sticking with me. These are well worth seeing. Look how absolutely gorgeous these are. So pretty. I just wanna take a knife here and make sure that they are done through. Let's see. Let me make sure they're not raw in the middle. I think I might put these in for maybe 2 or 3 more minutes, uh, just to make sure. I think maybe just 2 minutes, but I think they are almost done. Thank you. Yeah, I think they look so yummy. And our jam is getting really close to being done. Let's do another test. Okay. Now that is staying on the plate a little better, if you can see. It's definitely setting. Yeah, I think that is ready. So I'm going to take that off the stove. I'm going to get my ladle here. And let's get the biscuits out. In a moment, I'm going to give that 1 more minute. And then I'm going to use, look at this cute little monkey. My sister-in-law gave me this. Thank you so much for getting these jars out of here. This is a little bit precarious because they're very hot, but that's the way to get the jars out. And then I've got to get a lid. Here's a lid and the ring. So, oops, I forgot this for pouring in the jam. Um, oh, how many days does it last in the fridge? I would say maybe 2 weeks, but if you seal it in the hot jars, then you can just keep it, um, on the shelf and it's totally fine. But if you don't can it, then about a couple of weeks in the fridge. And you could freeze this too. Oh, let me get those biscuits out. I bet they are perfect now. Okay. Yeah, just a little more brown. There we are. Look how gorgeous. Yay. Yes. Yeah, too good to last that long. I agree. Everybody's going to use it on their toast. So, um, here I'm going to be showing you the jam in just a second because we're jarring up our first jar of jam. Let me get that twisted on here. And here you have some homemade strawberry jam from homegrown strawberries. And what I do is I turn these upside down, um, and then they will be sealing in a moment. But I let them sit upside down for a few minutes. So I'm going to finish up with the jam. Thank you so much. I appreciate all of you. I'm going to let you go as I jar up the rest of the jam. I'll leave a post to let you know how many jars I get. Probably maybe 3 small jars. So, but that's pretty good, I'd say. Thanks everybody for sticking around with me. I appreciate you. And I will see you next time. Bye.